Elisha. Bald-headed farmer, lived with his mom and his dad, and plowed fields. He worked on a family farm. Doesn't say anything in Scripture about education, so I'm assuming he was an uneducated man. Probably didn't know Scripture. He was just an ordinary guy, like most of us. Here's the extraordinary part about Elisha as we look farther down into his life, but we're not going to stay there. At the end of his term with Elijah, here's what he asked. He said, the only thing I ask is that I am your rightful successor of Elijah. Now, if we were just to read that, that wouldn't mean much. But if you were to study Scripture, what that means is the firstborn son back in those days always got a double portion of inheritance. Well, Elijah didn't have any family. So he was saying, I want double portion of your blessings. That's what I want. So let's read in verse 19. So Elijah went and found Elisha, son of Shaphat, plowing a field with a team of oxen. There were 11 teams of oxen ahead of him, and he was plowing with the 12th team. So let's stop there. He was a farmer. Back then, they didn't have combines, and they didn't have John Deere. So when he plowed behind a team of oxen. What do you think he smelled every single day? What? Dookie. Right. Every single day. That's what he smelled. What do you think he saw? What do you think he saw? Where's the dookie come from? Right. That's ridiculous.
John says that's ridiculous.
Right. Imagine what Brother Man looked and smelled at every single day. That's sick. And that is sick. And it's probably really bad too. Okay? You guys are going to get this. Think about the monotony of his life. Is this all I'm going to have to do day after day after day? Smell poop, look at oxen butt, day after day after day. Now, can you imagine? I mean, put us in that place. How many of us say in our daily lives, I do, yeah, you guys for sure. You guys for sure. But how many of us say, I do the same thing day after day after day? I know I do. I do the same thing day after day after day. What kind of a mental state do we get into when we think our life has become so monotonous? We're just like this. Right? Well, that was Elisha. That's where he was at. But here's what we miss in the things he was doing. He was faithful. He showed up to work every single day. In the book of Matthew, it says, the master said, well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in handling this small amount, so now I will give you many more responsibilities. So oftentimes we overlook the fact that we're just trudging along and doing exactly what God has asked us to do. Like being a mom, right? You keep. In the middle of Elisha's daily routine, all of a sudden God says, hey, I'm going to send someone to you that's going to make a tremendous impact on your life. And that's where it gets to be ridiculous. Part 2, verse 19. Elijah went over to him and threw his cloak across his shoulders and walked away. Now, we look at that part of Scripture and we go, okay, well, so what? What does that mean? Back in those days, a cloak was one of the, that was kind of maybe what defined you back then. Okay?